Welcome back. We're in Module 21, Promoting Independence with Debriefing and Deciding.
Right, we just finished the first two, right? So this is the follow-up. It would go all together. So first you told them in 3 to 5 steps what to do, and then you practiced doing it and pretending and playing and working with it a little bit, and now you've got them doing it, and now you want to see, you're going to check back in. How are they doing with that? And let's process that. And this isn't just you looking at it to see how they're doing. It's you sort of talking it through with them so that they're aware of what they're doing. And it's not just to correct something if they're not quite doing it right. It is that. And so there's corrective feedback is going to come into play here. But it is also that what if they are doing it right? All right. Now you want to review that praise material. And so you want to be describing how you're noticing what they're doing and appreciating how they're doing it that way. Hey, I noticed that you put the toothpaste back on the cap and you put the toothpaste back in the drawer. That wasn't even one of the last steps, and you figured another one out. Wow.
I really appreciate that when I clean the bathroom. I mean, all that can roll into that.
So those are important modules to sort of maybe review a little bit so that you know how to debrief this correctly. And really, the debriefing is the way we look back at something and we learn from that something, learn how to continue doing what was working well and doing more of it, right? That's the debriefing piece, or what we could change and do it a little bit better next time. And so we want our children to be able to look at their behavior and be able to extrapolate outcomes from that and be able to see that, hey, I'm doing this and I'm handling these situations. And so we have some steps for debriefing, and that's on the middle of page 78. And so if you look at the steps there, Katrina, you walk us through those.
Just to help them be more conscious, the first thing we do is pick 2 to 3 questions or statements and then have them react to them. And then the next one is share your opinion, either the praise or the corrective feedback. So those are the 3 things we do in debriefing, and we have many debriefing examples on 78 and 79.
So you're going to want to probably tag this page so you can come back to it. We're going to read through these just so you can hear them again, and then you'll have to go back and maybe practice picking out a couple that work for different scenarios, right? Because we really want our children to be able to think critically about the outcomes that are happening. So
I can do the bottom, you can do the top.
Okay.
You can do that?
All right.
All right. So the bottom of 78, how do you think you did with, you can say soccer, whatever it is. What do you think you did the best when you, and then you'd add in, tell me one way you think you could improve for next time. How would you rate that job on a scale 1 to 10? And why is that? What could you do better with? And then what did you notice about how other people reacted?
What would you say? Not what would you? Would you say that was a smiley face, a frowny face, or a straight face?
Yeah, do the thumbs. It's good stuff.
What grade would you give yourself on that? And then you could follow up with why did you think and how would you want to improve on that? What do you think would be a good goal for next time? What reaction did you like best? Tell me your favorite part. What evidence did you see that it was working? Can you sum up what you learned in 1 sentence? What part did you improve the most from yesterday? Would you say you are getting better, staying the same, or getting a little worse with whatever that activity was? It's just getting them then to go back and to become conscious of their behaviors and to look at how that behavior may have had an effect on someone else, what effect it might have on the family as a community, to think a little bit critically about that and make some plans for improvement, or if it was working, continuing doing that and following through.
Or just celebrating a success. Sometimes things are going well and you just ask the debriefing questions, and it's an opportunity to celebrate and get that internal standard going within your child.
All right, so that's the debriefing piece, And the fourth do in this fourth D in the 4D model is to decide how to be when following through with the consequence. Now this is sort of, okay, they didn't
Right.
do it. They didn't follow the 3 steps, and so now we're really having to move in with the debriefing piece and reteaching them how to do it the correct way and to follow through. But you have to decide how you want to be as a parent when you are implementing the you might be irritated, you might be annoyed, you might be frustrated,
Impatient.
but you see you're being.
Yep.
So you could choose to be happy that you get a chance to go over this again. You could choose to be patient. You could choose to be understanding. Right there. So there are 5 key features to how you want to choose to be, and we call that moving up in consciousness before you move in with action. And you can join us in filling in the blanks on the bottom of page 79. And the first one is, as you're moving in, right, you talk to yourself before you talk to your child.
Yeah, take that breath, take that moment.
Yep, you could be just 3 steps away, but before you say something to your child, say something to yourself, like maybe, hey, some of this is developmentally appropriate for kids their age, or wow, they're really struggling with this. I wonder what else is going on for them. And you're moving in as they're down there on the floor, or whatever it might be. Right? So you have to talk to yourself first and understand that this could be something else that what we're not aware of. Now, oftentimes I say misbehavior is actually misunderstood behavior. Okay, so if I could look at it quickly from a different point of view, what might this be about? If this was about something else, what would it be about? Just some of those kinds of statements, you're just letting kind of spin in your head before you say anything to your child.
And just sometimes accepting what is. You know, just sometimes we lose patience and we're like, oh, we have to do it again, but it is what it is, they say sometimes, you know, and it's...
When my son, we were painting his bedroom, and he wanted to be a part of repainting that, and I think he was like 7 or 8. He was right around that age. He wanted to be a part of that, and so we were just doing one wall, so we had plastic down, you know, probably a half of the room where, you know, up against that wall, and it was all taped off and all that kind of stuff, and we talked about the plastic and all that, and he had a little paintbrush, and he was working on a section, and I went out to get something and came back, and he had set the paintbrush and the paint can down on the floor, but like this far away from where the plastic wasn't anymore.
Oh, yeah.
There's plastic through half. You could have laid it down, all this plastic, but nope, there's carpet. And he laid it down there. Now,
what is
at that moment, I got to say to myself, okay, any irritation, annoyance, frustration that I bring to the fact that there is now paint in the middle of the room on the carpet, and that's why we put the plastic down.
What is.
That doesn't change the fact that there's paint on the carpet.
Right.
So I have to accept in that moment, accept what is, and that's kind of accepting that on the emotional level while we're still trying to change it on a physical level. Doesn't mean you don't do it, you don't do anything about it.
Right.
Just if you accept it emotionally, here, say, okay, there is paint there, let's move to the next step, and then we had to learn how to clean up the carpet. So that was the next piece. All right, number 3 was...
make no assumptions. And then see it all as perfect, and kind of like that letting go that you just talked about. Don't assume they know, or if they're going to make a mistake, it's okay. You're going to kind of deflate a little and relax.
I can't make the assumption that he did it on purpose.
Right.
Right? Or I can't make the assumption that he's, you know, unaware or doing something malicious. I've got to first start with, okay, so I'm not going to assume anything here. I don't know what was behind any kind of behavior, whether it was the paint on the carpet. I still have some feelings about that. Yes. All right, so but
it's all good.
But now to see it all as perfect, it doesn't matter whether your child takes their bike out of the rain or doesn't take their bike out of the rain, it's perfect. It's a perfect time for them to learn a lesson.
And it's a choice.
Yes, it's
So-
their choice, and they get to make that choice. And so the perfect part of it is we get to move in as a parent and either to show appreciation and praise in some way, or we get to move in as a parent and offer correction in some way. It doesn't matter either way to us. We can't be upset or angry about an opportunity to teach.
Yes.
And so that's perfect.
And decide who we want to be in that moment.
Right.
Yeah, to move up before you move in. It takes that pause so you can just decide who you want to look like and sound like in your parenting and your verbal skills, and who do you want to be in that moment when there's pain on the floor.
Right. And so we did a kind of a choosing how to be exercise earlier in a previous module where you just did that visualization, where you thought about the higher vision of yourself and you being at your best while your children might be acting at their worst. Right. That's the choosing how to be. So just down at the bottom, you can take a moment to just make a personal note on deciding how to be, what that kind of means to you, and how you want to be in any given moment, regardless of whether you think it's good behavior, bad behavior, right or wrong. How do you want to choose to be in any given moment will affect what you do and the outcome with your children. So make a be choice.
And then on page 80, when you're done with that on your own, there's an activity to write your own debriefing statements for the direct teaching example. So there's debriefing statements, practice 1 and practice 2. And then the next one is who you like to be at the bottom. And there's some choices there for you to email me when you've completed those on 80.
All right, and when you have completed that piece, then you're through with step 5 in promoting independence. So congratulations to you on that piece. Take some time to reflect on the parent talk language that you've learned in this section in module 18, 19, 20, and 21 on promoting independence. And then you might want to write down just 2 parent talk phrases that you plan on using this following week. Give yourself some time to work with this material so that you can incorporate that more into your beingness as a parent. And then when you're ready, you can move on to the final step 6, and that's encouraging character, and that's in your workbook, module 22, describe.
It'll be next, yeah.
Yes. So we'll see you when you're ready. Now remember, take your time, and we'll be back for the step 6.